All right, so in this section, I just want to go over a couple basic concepts about animation and keyframes, just so you have them handy in your back pocket. And we're going to do it by way of the camera. So this is really kind of like animation slash extra camera tricks chapter that we can kind of like, expand a little bit on our, object level skills here inside of Houdini. So the first thing I'm going to do is create a animated camera, and we're going to look at the animation editor and how to set keyframes on that. So let's just create a new camera here. I'm going to go to my lights and cameras shelf right here, and just from my camera 1 perspective, I'm just going to control click this to create a new camera, and you can see that it pops down a new camera, camera number 3 here in a 16:9 aspect ratio. If we look at the view, you can see it's 1280 by 720. We could just go ahead and set that to 1080 if we wanted to right away. And you can see we get this little handle here, and the lock is locked so that we're going to be moving our camera along with our view. So I'm going to just pull back here a little bit like so, and just kind of frame up my object. And let's just do a little bit of a camera push. Now you can see my background is not quite big enough to fill the frame. Let's just grab that background right here, and I'm going to unparent the Redshift light real quick. So I'm going to make sure key position when parenting is selected. I'm going to unparent it and just enlarge the background by increasing the uniform scale a little bit. Give us a little bit of room to work with here. Going back to our camera 3 here, I'm going to just pull it back a little bit on this gizmo in the middle here, like so, and get the object nice and centered in the scene. And then I'm going to go to the transform tab here, and we can set our first keyframes. Now there's a couple ways to do it. We could, from this little button down here, we could hit the keyframe button, and that will automatically keyframe the translate and rotates. You can see that right here. I'm going to hit undo. Another way that I like to do it is just holding down the Alt key and clicking on the parameters I want to keyframe. Now that works on this little parameter label over here. So let me undo that. If I hold Alt and click translate, it sets all 3 X, Y, and Z translates. Or you can individually click on individual parameters as well, individual fields if you want. If you only wanted to keyframe this middle one, you could Alt click on that. And you can see that that sets a keyframe right there as well. So I'm going to go back to frame 1 and just Alt-click Translate and Rotate to set a keyframe there. And you can see that on the timeline down here, it has created a nice little a little green bar on the timeline down here. And then let's say I want to go to frame 72, and we'll just grab this middle, this diagonal arrow, and just kind of push in a little bit on our subject, and maybe give the camera just a little bit of roll like so. And then I'll just hold Alt and click on the translate and rotate fields again as well. And then we can see here that if we play that back in the timeline, we're getting a nice, it's eased, but we're getting a nice push in on our subject here. So let's take a look at the animation editor now.